All right, so today we're going to be working on or discussing understanding buyers for Module 4. But before we get into that, I wanted to go over uh, the calendar of events for this week and next week. So we're in week 9 right now, March 8th. Make sure that you review or you study for the midterm that's going on next week. It's part of Friday skill assistance, as well as anything outside of class, and also module 4 knowledge check, which should be available now. That'll be due on March 14th by 11:59 p.m. Next week you'll be taking your midterm exam, and then just keep in mind you're going to have a few assignments that'll be due by March 21st. You can do those before next week if you like. Just make sure that they're turned in by March 21st at 11:59 p.m. As far as the midterm, that's going to be worth 15% of your grade, 20 multiple choice true and false questions, 3 short answers. All of those questions will total up to 100 points. You'll receive 90 minutes to complete the test, and it'll start at 11:50 a.m. That'll give you 90 minutes total to complete it. There will be the normal Skype meeting next week while the midterm is going on. If you have any questions, I'll be in the Skype meeting. And another thing, make sure that you, in addition to the terms that I gave you last week, make sure that you review the knowledge check questions, because you may see them again. And that's all I'll say about that. Any questions? All right, so this week we're going to be discussing understanding buyers again. When you talk about understanding a buyer's needs and why those needs are important to them, and why it's vital to a winning sales opportunity, without this knowledge, sales professionals have a difficult time presenting the value and the benefits of their products and their services. To understand a buyer, it's very important to have done some research on the buyer's business, their industry, and even who their competition is. In addition to that, it's also important to understand how to tailor a presentation to the buyer's personality or their communication style. One way that this is done is by using the DiSC assessment or the DiSC assessment. This tool is based on DiSC, the DiSC theory that William Martin came up with. The theory states that there are 4 main types of behavior styles. So you have your dominance, which is in the top left-hand quadrant. You have your influence, which is in the top right-hand quadrant. You have your consciousness, which is in the bottom left-hand quadrant, and your steadiness, which is in the bottom right quadrant. Now the dominant quadrant, or the dominance, that measures a person's directness and decisiveness. It represents someone who's focused on the end result rather than the journey to get to that goal. The influential, or the influence quadrant, that measures a person's level of sociability. It deals with the charisma, persuasive ability, and the likelihood that someone will look to make connections with others and attempt to be well liked by the group. The steadiness quadrant, that deals with even temperedness. So those people with that trait, they're usually a little more patient or calm when they have to handle difficult situations, or they have to work long hours. The consciousness quadrant, that looks at how analytical a person is, particularly when it comes to their attention to detail or to their appreciation to things being in order. Now myself, I'm more of a steadiness. I'm more, I wouldn't say I'm very patient, but I'm patient, and I'm very cool and calm when faced with a lot of different adverse situations. By understanding your own primary behavior style, that helps an individual better manage experiences and relationships with others. The DiSC assessment is frequently used in business and governmental agencies to help teams work more effectively together. This tool it can be powerful and very useful for a sales rep who's able to tailor their presentation based on what personality type the prospect they're trying to work with seems to be. In order to be successful in sales, the salesperson just can't sell how they like to be sold to, but they have to adapt their strategy to the buyer's personality. So that's why this is very important when it comes to selling and getting a sale done successfully. Now, the next couple of things we're going to discuss are related to assignments in the class. The first being, I emailed everyone the case that we'll be working on today. You have to do question number 1 and question number 2. I actually emailed something out last night. I didn't like that case. I selected a different case for everybody. I sent it out this morning. So the email that I sent out this morning, make sure you do question number 1 and question number 2. Each answer should be a minimum of 100 words, and it's due by today at 11:59 p.m. After you get done with the group project, make sure that you're doing your weekly journal entries. This is how you get to the weekly journal entries. Make sure that you use today's date as the title, and the topic is the same as it's been the past 8 weeks. What did you learn in today's class? And if there's anything that we discussed today that you would like to have reviewed for next week's class session. And that's a minimum, it needs to be a minimum of 50 words. Any questions?